Williams.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I take a call on behalf of New Zealand First in the Taxation, Annual Rates, Foreign Superannuation and Remedial Matters Bill. Mr Chair, many good, hard-working, middle-income and low-income New Zealanders must be looking at legislation such as this and wondering really what is in it for them. And I guess they would be reflecting on the fact that 3 years ago, in 2010, the national government provided some $2 billion in tax cuts to the 10% of the wealthiest people in New Zealand. The good average people in New Zealand will be asking, why did the likes of the Prime Minister receive $1,000 a week cut in the tax he was paying? Why did the likes of Paul Reynolds, the head of Telecom, Chief Executive, get a cut of something like $5,000 a week in tax to his income? Why is it that this national government is so intent on helping the rich and their mates, but good, average, good working Kiwis are being left out in the cold? Mr Chair, once again, this is tinkering around the edges by this government. This is just sort of fudging the numbers. And at the end of the day, with the taxation in this country, there are still those who are benefiting greatly from the whole process, while poor families in this country are really struggling. Mr Speaker, we need a full revision of the tax system in New Zealand, not just this tinkering where they bring in these bits of bills here and bits of bills there. We need a full review of the tax system so that there is a fair and equitable system for all, across all areas of the New Zealand economy. At the present time, there is still a huge amount of tax evasion, estimated in the order of $2 to $3 billion a year, $2 to $3 billion a year of tax evasion, which simply this government is not getting on top of. In addition to that, this government has put up GST in recent years, going up to 15%, again, which they promised they wouldn't. Absolutely. They promised prior to that particular election they would not increase GST, but they did put it up from 12.5% to 15%. And again, the people that hurt the most are those who are having to buy the everyday goods and services and cannot afford that extra 2.5% of GST. So, Mr Speaker, New Zealand First calls on the government to have comprehensive taxation review, not just to help their mates, not just to help the wealthy corporates and the wealthy heads of corporates and the wealthy financiers and bankers and all that sort of thing, but to help good, average, everyday Kiwis to get on and have a better slice of the cake of the New Zealand economy. Mr Speaker, we stand for a fair society. We stand for a society where all New Zealanders are put first. We stand for a situation where the government goes after those who are avoiding paying their dues to the country, where there is a situation where, for instance, there is speculation on so much property, on so many other investments in this country, on so much in the way of finances, so much on the way of the New Zealand dollar being speculated on, all sorts of other speculative activities which this government turns a blind eye to, a complete blind eye to, while large amounts of revenue and profits are being made and by rorting the system and taking huge dollars out of the system for the benefits, again, for the benefit particularly of that top 10% of income earners who are doing very well in this country. Mr Chairman, the gap is widening between the rich and the poor in this country, and this national government, in the 5 sorry years that it's been in power, has seen that gap widen. And, Mr Chairman, it's time that this government faced the fact that New Zealand is on a slippery slope in terms of those who cannot afford it, cannot afford the daily cost of living, are out of work, are underemployed, where we now have 8 to 9% underemployment. These are people that have only got 1 hour or more of work a week, and these people that would love to dearly pay more tax if they had a decent job. But when you're on minimum wage and when you're on $13.75 an hour, when you're on I am keeping to the bill, this is about taxation. And when you're on $13.75 an hour and you're struggling, Mr Chair, it's not good enough.
Maggie Barry.
I move that the question be now put.
Sue Moroney.
Chair, thank you.